this or a pattern like this in a while that's so just simple, where the promoter basically pumps it up, saying that a further analyst report is coming. The very next day, just like the pumper's last 3 picks, an analyst report comes. The stock spikes in reaction to the analyst report. All predictable. Bought it at roughly 488, sold it at roughly 530. I guess I could have timed it a little better. I could have made an extra 10, 20 cents a share, but I'm taking a solid 40 cents a share in profit. You know, it doesn't get better than that on a $5 stock in a day. You make nearly 10%, very little risk, because you know that the promoter's job is to come through. This pattern won't last forever. Promoters do get lazy. They do have to change eventually, or else, you know, they get investigated and shut down. But whoever this promoter is, congrats. Congrats on making this so easy for longs. And, you know, ideally it spikes a little more today so that it'll be great for shorts too. Does everybody see exactly what's going on with TSRI? Say yes or no. I made a video lesson. I just made a follow-up video lesson. It's all about being able to predict moves the day before they happen, or hours before they happen. And, you know, when this promoter does the exact same pumping strategy on his picks, you know, no two stocks are exact. And HMNY, his last pick, actually did much better on day 2. But it's the same thing, you know. Those of you, I'm getting a lot of questions like, why don't I just short it right now? Well, I don't know how far it can go. Let me shut down some of my programs because my computer likes to freak out when I do these webinars. Probably should have restarted before, but I'm already late. Alright, that's as good as it's going to get. This is definitely a potential short today. I just don't know how far it can go. You know, I mean, I just sold some. It doesn't look like there's many sellers. So if the promoter is going to start really tweeting about this, let's see, what is their name? Twitter Oracle Picks. Oh, he's deleted all his tweets. That's sad. he's like welcome all new followers. It's kind of funny. He doesn't know that, you know, I gave him new followers because I talked about him, but I'm exposing his bullshit too. So he just deleted his tweets from the last few hours. So I don't know if he's going to do all the same pumping tactics that he was going to do before, because now he knows that, you know, this famous penny stock short seller is on his ass. I might have just ruined this for everybody. He did have some tweets earlier talking about how good the TSRI analyst report is, but he's deleted them. So I don't know if he's going to be as manipulative as he was going to be anymore now. That's sad. The good news is I already got him on video. That's why I made that video pre-market today, because things like this happen. When a promoter senses that you're on to him, he starts, you know, trying to cover his tracks. And they're not smart enough to do it, you know, quickly, but they do usually do it. So it's important to record videos when you have the tweets. So I just recorded a video. I didn't have time to publish it, but you'll see part 2 of my TSRI video with Oracle picks and his now deleted tweets. Let's see. Does this sound okay? Can you hear me okay? If you can't hear me right now, you know, this will be recorded. I'm sorry for the issues, but, you know, this is my life. My life is crazy. Let's see. Tim, would it be better for some volume to come in and short into on TSRI? Yeah, exactly, Savino. I don't know how far this can go. I see the promoter deleting tweets already. I don't know if he's going to stop sending out email blasts, but TSRI is definitely a potential short. It probably will see the fours today, but it could also see the sixes. So right here in the fives, I don't know how far it can go. We'll find out pretty quickly. Also, my other main watch is EFUT, which reported blowout earnings. But this company, has been a long-term pick of mine since the fours. So long-term subscribers, congrats. That's why I have a separate newsletter for long-term. And, I didn't even have the patience to hold till this, but several other people did, which is cool. That's the beauty of being a teacher. I like it when my students do better than me. It's not about me being the perfect trader or me making money and you not. I love it when students make more than me. But here it is in the mid fives. The earnings were good. They have this mobile shopping product, which they've had for a year now. It's just a question of will it be able to hold its spikes. And in the past, it's spiked nearly a dozen times. It's never held its spikes. So this is on earnings, so that's good. I just don't know if EFUT will be able to hold this and turn this into anything more. But we have a classic pump and dump in TSRI and a classic earnings winner in EFUT. So the odds on both of them are in your favor. I wouldn't be shorting EFUT just because it can squeeze, and I wouldn't be longing TSRI just because it can crash. So you have to think about those odds in the background when you're trading. And the odds usually catch up to these stocks. Tim, comment on NVGN. NVGN is the latest biotech that's spiking. It's not up enough for me to care about. Let's see. Tim, why do you ONCY as a potential short if it's still not the first red day? Pedro, because sometimes with these biotechs, you can't wait until the first red day. You have to short into strength. And that's why I'm not really good at it. That's why I don't do it, because I'm better on shorting the first red day. So, yeah. Let's see. IFON spiking pre-market. Let me add that to the list. Is that another earnings winner? Ay. Well, we just got another earnings winner. I didn't even see that. I miss plays left and right when I give my webinars because I'm trying to do video lessons. But thank you for bringing that up. Let's see. Let's see what the earnings are. Good revenue. They don't have that much in cash, only $1.5 million. They might need to raise some money. That's my main concern with IFON. But yeah, now you have another earnings winner. So now we have two earnings winners and a pump and dump. This is a busy day. I don't care about any biotechs when I have perfect plays. I really hate trading biotechs, as you might have seen. Did it spike all at once? This is an interesting note by this guy. Unit shipments during the quarter declined by 4% compared to the prior year, but the average selling price per unit rose 57% equals bad. I don't know. We'll see. there's usually something bad in all of these companies' earnings reports. TSRI is still 535 by 550. You gotta beware of more promoter emails. So let me just type in here, EFUTIFON earnings winners, potential buys, but each is up a ton already, so not sure if they can hold their 40% spikes, let alone build on them. TSRI is a classic pump. Ideally, the promoter squeezes it to the 6s or even 7s, and then it's a potential short. Congrats to overnight longs there. We nailed that. So these are my three plays, and that's a lot. You know, usually you guys are in such a hot market, you don't even realize it. Usually there might be one play in a day or two, but already there's three, and that's quite a lot. I'm going to take CYCC off my watch list, and also ONCY off my watch list, just because I don't want to be distracted by these biotechs. BIOC is still a potential short though too, but you just got to be careful with these biotechs. You know, they're choppy. I really prefer earnings winners and pump and dumps. Let's see. Tim Sykes ruining promoters' reputation since 1999. Actually, I was helping them in 1999. I was buying penny stock promotion breakouts, and I didn't even know that they were breakouts back in 99 and 2000. 2002, 2003, I would say. That's when I started really short selling. And it's 2001 a little bit also. At what point would I look to short TSRI? I mean, it all depends on how much it spikes and if the promoter sends out more emails. It's not a good sign when the promoter is already deleting tweets, because he's trying to cover his tracks in case, you know, it does collapse. Let's see. ATOS, Zach Small Cap Research did a PR on 3/2/15. Didn't you say they were a pumper? Yes, Zach Small Cap Research is paid for pumping, but ATOS, you know, it's not enough just to find a stock that's being pumped. You need it to be a big percent winner too. Penny Stalker says, when is a good time to buy earnings winners? And the DVDs, it says to wait until 3 p.m. Yeah, I mean, in the afternoon it's easier. In the morning it's kind of choppy, as you saw with my my buy of NTRI yesterday when it broke $20 a share resistance for a few minutes and then it promptly crashed. So I got a little too aggressive there. That happens in the morning, you know, but then again, sometimes you get these earnings winners and, you know, like stocks like IFON and EFUT, I mean, they're each up 33, 43% pre-market. And, you know, by 10 a.m. they might be up like 70 or 80% if they can get enough volume. It's just something that you have to watch and really try and buy earnings winners when they take out the new day high. And ideally have some big time volume. You know, EFUT has only traded 12,000 shares pre-market. I wouldn't be surprised if it just, you know, absolutely gaps and craps and just stops spiking, because it's never held spikes in the past. IFON, you know, more volume, but we have to wait and see. So it's a wait and see kind of game. That's really what that is. Let's see if there are... Way too many windows open. My computer is freezing. On Interactive Brokers, I just like to see how many shares are available to short. 20,000. One minute into the market open. TSRI is already fading. So I guess I sold that pretty well into the spiking. I think by my talking about how the promotion is working has really crushed it. That's sad. And we're open. 525 by 535. Yeesh. It's kind of weak. IFON is spiking. Ay, ay, ay. I couldn't even get executed. No, I got 1,100 shares short at 525. TSRI 5.25, 1127. Shorted some of this pump, as I said I would in watch list. Goal is to cover for 50 to 75 cents a share. Weak morning pop. Motor likely embarrassed that I outed his tactics. Sorry. So TSRI could not spike. I was really good on my sell pre-market. You know, sometimes you have to sell pre-market to capture the spike. IFON is up a lot. EFUT is up a little bit. Let me create new things, new charts. EFUT is just kind of dying. IFON seems to be the play. Good volume, but it's going to be tough to go up more than 45%. I'm going to hang on to my TSRI for a little bit. It's such a small position. What is this? Oh, my average is 524. Yeah, I mean, you got to watch out if the promoter starts pumping TSRI again. So I'm kind of glad that I have a small position. It's going to give me some patience because the day low right now is 5. Once it cracks 5, I should be able to cover in like the 490s, if not the 480s or 470s. And that way I'll have played both the long side and the short side pretty well on a blatant pump, which is kind of cool. I rarely trade both ways so well. You know, even now, even if I was still holding long overnight, I could be selling at 505 or 5 and still be profitable, which is kind of cool. Well, here we go. Might take out 5. This is the key number right here. You're going to have some stop losses there. Can it do it? Maybe the promoters are going to send out an email trying to protect it. But this is definitely a disappointing day too. EFUT is tanking. IFON is doing nothing. TSRI was the right play. I chose well. See, it's taking out these 5s. Come on, take them out. Take them out gradually. Nope, can't do it. The promoters are holding strong. They might create another squeeze. Right now I'm up, I don't know, like 200 bucks. It doesn't even matter. This is more interesting to me if this can really, go down more. Gene is up to 555. What a freaking annoying stock. Pre-market it was touching 5. Well, TSRI is holding 5 so far. iPhone is doing nothing. EFUT is tanking. I chose the best play out of all of them. Shorting a pump and dump into failed spiking on day 2 of the pump. Let's see, is the promoter saying anything? I think I might have tongue-tied him. Oh, he tweeted about me. Tim Sykes, short sellers, entered this room last night. New peeps, you see they want to shake you out. TSRI, just don't let them scare you. So he just knows of me as a short seller. He doesn't even know that I was actually long. I was long TSRI overnight. You should join and watch videos so you're not confused. So here is TSRI still holding on to 5 so far, but gradually cracking it. Can it take out 5? The promoter's so freaked out right now. It's like, wait a minute. Tim Sykes is wait, he got me all my follow. Wait, what? There we go. It just took out 5. Very nice. I just totally own this promoter. On the long side, exposing his bullshit, and now on the short side as his bullshit, gets exposed. Even now, I could still sell. If I was still long somehow overnight and I woke up late, I would still be up on my overnight long because I got in at 488. Just think about that. Beautiful, beautiful. Just dropping like a rock. Come on, give me more dropping. IFON is doing nothing. EFUT is still down. Gene is 560 now, spiking. Freaking so annoying. TSRI, I'm up 30 cents a share. So far, but this is a classic morning panic. The promoter is freaking out. It's kind of funny. Can it take out the day low? That would be sweet if I can cover in the 470s or 480s, maybe even 460s. I don't know. We'll see how far this goes down. But, you know, that would mean that I bought it on the way up and shorted it on the way down, made money both sides. That is so, so rare for me. Oh, IFON is spiking, 270. I missed that. That is the earnings winner. IFON spiking, missed due to my webinar, shorting TSRI. Ugh, I hate missing plays. EFUT is doing nothing. There you go. There's IFON. This is an earnings winner breakout. You know, you can see it clearly. I was doing nothing once it took out the day high at 250. Now you have 75 or 25, 30 cents of upside. And I just covered at 495. Caused by failure to spike. Taking safe profits. Using iPhone earnings for winning breakout curve. So much going on with live. So I gave TSRI time to really, you know, come down, but it just couldn't. It based. There were big buyers at 490, 491, 492. So I'm taking my, you know, roughly 30 cents a share. That's what you have to be. You have to really be decisive. I said, okay, TSRI not spiking pre-market like I thought it would. Let me exit out of it safely, and then, you know, or no, sorry, I'm confused. I was shorting it in the morning at the open because it couldn't spike, and so I got my short, and, you know, then I wanted to give it time, but then there were big buyers. Now those big buyers have disappeared. We have more big sellers at 495. I probably just played it safely, but I made 30 cents. So I made 40 cents on the long, 30 cents on the short. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. It's probably going to keep dropping, but I like locking in profits just because I never know what the promoter is going to do, especially when he's like, the main guy is like calling me out. He says, why is it you got burned on our last few? Actually, I made 46% shorting your CLRX pump. See video. You shouldn't be so confused anymore. I love fighting with promoters. But this is what you guys can do with a small account. I just, you know, what did I make? I made 30 cents a share. I made like 300 bucks on like a $5,000 investment in 10 minutes. You easily could have seen that. You easily could have done that. And IFON is even better now, 290s. And I totally missed this one. This one I could have had like 20,000 shares at 250 on the breakout. And now it's at 3. This one has the volume. God. Tell me you guys are long IFON on the breakout above 250. Look at this. People are all going crazy over NVGN. People love biotech, and it's so unpredictable. It's bullshit. You need to learn to focus on earnings winners and pump and dumps. Two good plays right now. TSRI, perfect short. IFON, perfect long. EFUT, dead. Even RESN, which was my dip buy attempt, is now spiking 1120. Most of my watch list is down. The markets are down nearly 1%. And I'm up like $2 grand on the day. Who gives a shit about estimates? Focus on price action. My God. IFON was there. Now 310. Are you guys buying IFON? I haven't even been in this chat room. Let's see. Drinkman covered GENE at 530. Good. It's at 550. It's scary. IFON is the perfect earnings winner. There we go. Let's see. PB, I love you, Tim. I nailed IFON. Got in at 244. That makes me happy. Is he replying? If you're making so much shorting our picks, then why are you doing drastic things and talking to me at all? I like talking with promoters. You've done a great job. I thank you for your predictability. Thanks, man. Yeah. Benefits of live. That's it, guys. I like the fact that you guys are banking on IFON. This was an even better play, and I totally missed it because of TSRI. That's it. I still made money. Still had it on the watch list. Look at that. I have to open my Word. There's too many documents I have. Congrats, PB. Everybody say congrats to PB. This is, you know, rather beautiful. Making $700 in 10 minutes. I only made like 300. Look at that. PB is jazzed. The chat is going too fast. I can't even copy this all. And you're exactly right, PB. You know, you say a profit is a profit. You're in 244, and you're out at, what did you get out at? Oh, you sold at 280. That's a good trade. That's a great freaking trade. That is it. You know, it's you have great comments, PB, and a great attitude. You make your freaking 700. Yeah, you could have made like 1,000, whatever. You don't know how high it can go. You buy the breakout, and then you sell into the spike. You know, that's all you can do. Tim, what do you think about the fact that it's hard to borrow shares of IFON? Does that affect? No, I don't care about the short side for IFON. I care about the earnings breakout. That's it. Nels Doggy bought IFON at 305. Nels Doggy, be careful, man. I wouldn't buy this at 305. It's already up 76% on the day. You missed the opportunity to buy by 50 cents a share. You don't chase stocks. Anybody buying it here at 3, yeah, you might get it, but this could also just be a fake out like NTRI was yesterday. So be extra careful. I would not be long here at 3. I would be selling for a small loss at like 297 if that was me. Let's see, is the promoter saying anything? Our people are obviously making money as well. Yep, I made money on the long and short side, TSRI. Thank you again for your good, solid work. Keep it up. You see, I don't have to be a dick to promoters. And as I say this, IFON is at 290. Let me send out a warning just in case other people are chasing. IFON now dropping. I wouldn't be long at 3-ish. The time to buy was the breakout of the day high at 250-ish, then sell into the spike at 3-ish. Don't chase it. BIOC is spiking now too. This is why I don't want to trade biotechs, because they're so freaking choppy. They just are. You know, I really wasn't even tempted to be in BIOC. I don't know how high this can spike, but I am scared of every single one of these spikes. You never know how high they can go, as you saw with EYES the other day. Let's see, are there shares to short? I would love to short it at like 4-ish. $100,000 shares to short. Come on, spike it up. Of course, my trading software logs out because my computer cannot handle this webinar software. IFON down to 280. Very, very glad I got out, or I warned. I didn't get out. I didn't even trade IFON. But I warned. I'm trying to short BIOC. I got 300 shares. Freaking SSR. You gotta hate it. I'm not even gonna get executed. Oh, did I get it? 3,000 at 365. Cool. Do I want it though? BIOC 3.65, 3,000 shares. Shorted into the SSR, caused morning spike. Small position goal is to make 30 to 50 cents a share on the retrace. So IFON keeps coming. It's tough to short on the SSR because you have to short into an uptick. So I just shorted 3,000 shares. I'm down like 5 cents a share, but I'm going to give it some time. IFON is doing nothing, EFUT is doing nothing, TSRI is doing nothing. I'm in the right play, I think. Now I'm roughly break even on BIOC. Trading very, very small. You got to be scared of these biotechs. Tim, why aren't you looking for a dip to buy on IFON? Because that was near best case scenario from 250 to 3. Let it settle out. I don't want to be initiating a buy position at 10 a.m. I do like shorting morning spikes though, which is why I'm shorting BIOC. I think this spike on BIOC is just caused by the SSR, and I think it's going to come right back down 20, 30, 40, 50 cents. Maybe there's some buy-ins too on some shorts, but I finally got a pretty good entry price in a small position just in case I'm wrong. Look at this big bidder here, 365 getting chipped away. Once he disappears, should come down nicely. See, people are trying to short right now on the bid here, and they just can't because of the SSR. That's why you got to be a little early with the SSR. See, everyone trying to short right now is just showing up on the ask here at 366. Once this big buyer gets taken out here at 365, should go to the 360s, then ideally the 350s. It might take a little while, but I just shorted into a 50 cent a share spike. Small positions though, very small positions with these biotechs. Just a waiting game. The one good thing is that I can cover if I really needed to here at 366 and I'd lose a penny a share and it wouldn't be the end of the world. That's the cool thing about the SSR because it forms this wall of sellers. So these guys are trying to short, but if I ever want to cover my short, I can cover right into them. Oh, someone just sold a lot of shares at 365. Let me show you the time and sales. There we go, 360. Now I'm up 5 cents. Come on, take out that big buyer at 360. Yeah, eat him away. There we go. There we go. Come on, just a little more. 10,000 left. 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, gone. Now I'm up 7 cents. Oh, he reclaimed it. That's also sometimes what happens, where you take out a big buyer and then they come back in. Look at that, another 34,000 to buy at 360. That's annoying. But let's see if we can take him out too. It just doesn't look like that much, like it wants to spike that much. But, you know, with the SSR, you always have to be careful. Maybe there's some buy-ins. Nope. Good. Now big seller. 70,000 seller at 360. Very nice. Try and break that. Now I think it's going to crack below 350. I'll make another few hundred. Few hundred per trade. You know, all I'm doing is risking, what, $10,000 on this one. So I'm trading very, very small, just in case, with my small account. But now it's coming down very nicely. 355, I'm up 10 cents, I'm up 300 bucks. 352, I'm up like 400. I got it at 356. Probably didn't need to, but I'm taking it nice and safe. 0.56. So I got out. I really don't like aiming to make so little, but I wanted more of downside. Um, but at the same time, I also want to answer questions, and also I'm just not comfortable with biotechs. There's a lot of reasons why I trade the way I trade, but there's practically no way to lose money on a trade like that, even though I only made like 300. do I want to sit here with such a small position and fight it? No, I don't. Look at this, Devante, I love this. IFON in at 245, out at 301. Freaking beautiful. Congrats, man. Second level says just missed IFON execution on the right path though, can't be disappointed. Exactly. Good job, second level. Let's see. Where would you guys dip by IFON? Guys, what you guys are missing is that you don't need to necessarily buy the breakout and then buy it on a dip and buy it again and again. This 250 to 3, this is best case scenario for IFOM. It is done for me as a trade for quite a while. You can't expect more than that kind of a 50 cent a share spike. Let it consolidate. I don't know how high it goes. Maybe sometimes you get a morning spike and that's it. So don't be in a rush to dip buy it. Maybe if it comes back to 250, but here at 270, do I really want to buy it? No, not at all. BIOC is coming down. I probably didn't need to cover so quickly. I'm just so scared with these biotechs. Look at this. All of you are thinking, what about a dip buy? When you miss out on a play, you feel like you need to make money on it, so you want to get in again. Don't feel that way. The play does not owe you money. You missed it. Own up to that, okay? Look at this. Every single one of you are saying, would you consider IFON as a dip buy? And I'm guessing every single one of you who are saying this missed it. Yes, it is a dip buy, but not right now. It just had a 50 cent a share spike. That is all you can ask for. Like TSRI, did I have to cover it at 495? No. Is it probably going to go down even lower later? Yes, but it's also down 40 cents a share off its highs. You have to give these stocks time to digest their recent moves. So I wouldn't be reshorting TSRI here. Hopefully it can come back. Let me tell the promoter. Let me give him some words of encouragement. Good. Now please do your job and give us more TSRI spiking a la HMNY. It does nobody any good here at $5 a share. I love that I'm having a conversation with this promoter. Look at this, not a single losing trade in 9 days, finally feeling self-sufficient as I've been picking my own for 2 weeks now. Awesome job, Joseph Dimmick. Everybody, please congratulate this guy. And Joseph is a challenge student. This is what I want for all of you. Okay? Awesome. Please read this, understand it, and appreciate it. Retweet, congratulate Joe. I want this for everyone. I love it. I gotta save it. I'm getting testimonials coming out my butt. Joe Dimmick. Beautiful. Here it is. Everybody, please retweet this. Let's see. Have I missed the battle? You have missed the war. Name the movie. Let's see. Nels Doggy short BIOC at 368, covered at 355. Very good. Look at that. Logamatter. Thanks, Tim. Remembered your spike ability on EFUT. Got in at 385, out at 592. Freaking on fire. Awesome part deux. I love when everything comes together. You notice, we're buying earnings winners like EFUT. We're shorting or buying pumps like TSRI when it's predictable. Shorting pumps eventually. I love it. This is penny stocking. This is it, baby. RESN is now up $1 a share. Are you kidding me? Now 1160. RESN is spiking. I was a day early, but on the right track. Congrats. Look at this. Another testimonial. I'm just going crazy with testimonials. I saved this one. This is a funny article right here. I saved this just because I wanted to show it during this. And this article is all about, marijuana investors lost $23 billion in penny stocks last year. And so I thought about this, and if you read this article, it's all about, penny stock pump and dumps and investors falling for them. And as I was reading the article, I was like, well, how much did penny stock short sellers make? If the longs lost $23 billion, then shorting scams, I don't know if we exactly made $23 billion, but you made quite a lot of money. Let's see. Tim, you have too much time on your hands. Not really. I love this game. If you can't tell, I love, this comment from Logamatter. Thanks, Tim. Remembered your spike ability on EFUT. Got in at 385, out at 592. That's freaking amazing. Let's see. Savino says, now I'm consistent for the last 3 months and now adding slowly into size into winners. Exactly, Savino. That's it. That is the whole goal here. Okay? I want you getting good, getting consistent, and then you add to your size when you're ready. Beautiful. Let's see. I need better internet. Whatever. I don't even care about internet at this point. You'd have to be an idiot not to be able to follow what's going on here. Is it a good idea to short TSRI? I don't know. It's already dropped. I'm telling the promoter to do a better job, so hopefully he can send out some more emails and stuff like that. Short selling question, is it normal at IB that if you click sell, you immediately short? It depends. Like BIOC, the stock was under the SSR, meaning even though I put my order in to get executed, you need a buyer to buy into my short. I guess my cover was actually pretty good. It's not going down as much as I thought. But, it's a decent little scalp. And I really hate scalping. I hate using that word. But sometimes, it just fits. And I'll take my $300 profit any day of the week. Or like $280. I don't even know. But today is a great example of penny stocking. You have earnings winners, IFON, which actually did do a perfect morning spike. Earnings winner EFUT, which did nothing, which I kind of expected. You have biotech spikers, GENE and BIOC, which is they're now both fading. BIOC is down to 350, so Probably should have held that short a little bit more. 349. So I gave away 150 bucks. You know, with such a small position, I really just wanted to show you guys how to even short in the SSR. But it creates opportunities. That's what you're looking for, okay? You know, some days there's going to be no opportunities where there might be an earnings winner, but it does nothing all day. Some days there might be one pump and dump. I mean, right now, TSRI, pump and dump, BIOC and Gene are biotech speculative winners that are good to short because they're junk. EYES also is spiking a little bit. This is a biotech, but this one is extra tricky, so I'm not touching that one. And then you have IFON and EFUT earnings winners. So you have 2 earnings winners, 1 pump and dump, and 3 biotech sketchy run-ups. And I took off CYTX off the list. CYCC is crashing. What was the other one? Oh, NVGN. Another. So actually you have 4 biotechs spiking, 2 earnings winners, and a pump and dump and a pear tree. So we have 7 stocks that are really fitting my exact patterns today, which is a ridiculous amount. Ridiculous. I made money shorting BIOC. I made money going long and short TSRI, and I missed IFON entirely. And BIOC is now down another 10 cents. So I gave away like 300 bucks. But that's fine. You know, I screw up all the time. And then RESN, actually, we have a speculative buy, and this is up to 11.75. And I was long this. What was I long at? Do you guys remember? I don't even remember my buy price. What was it? 10. My initial buy price on RESN, wasn't it like 10.50? No, it was even lower. It was right here on the breakout. Was it the 1030s? Oh, 1040s. Yeah. So 1040s. So, you know, it didn't really bounce the way I wanted yesterday, but today is the bounce. So I was off by a day on RESN. It's beautiful. Yeah, 1046-ish. Let's see. Tim, did you shorted BIOC because of the overextended spike? Yeah, exactly. You know, I probably would have been short BIOC overnight. You know, but I didn't want to just because I'm scared of spikes. So when I'm wanting to short a stock overnight and I don't do it and then it spikes, that gives me kind of a better opportunity to short because now what I was afraid of has happened and it's probably just a fake out. So. Let's see. How do you turn after hours on and off on an E-Trade chart? Good question. So right here on the chart, you can type in on this top right-hand corner right here, which you probably can't see. There's a little drop-down menu, and you click Show Extended Hours. And normally I don't like showing extended hours because it makes it more complicated than it should be. But sometimes it's good. Some people, you know, accuse me of like, you never traded that stock. It doesn't show that price on the chart anywhere. And I'm like, well, click extended hours. And they're like, oh, okay. TSRI now down to 484. It's fading a little bit. I probably didn't have to cover that so quickly. That's kind of the cool thing. Like when you're in a trade like TSRI short, you don't have to cover quickly. When you're in a trade like BIOC short, after a spike, you don't have to cover quickly. As opposed to like IFON, when you're in the earnings winner breakout from 250 and it goes to 3, yes, you have to sell quickly because, you know, it's a quick move. You take the 50 cents a share. And, you know, TSRI long, I specifically knew that I wasn't going to hold it past like 9:40 a.m. Eastern on the long side just because I knew that it's a pump. So you kind of have to have those expectations going into a trade. Like, can I give this more time? You know, what is going to be right for today? What is going to be right for the next hour? And what is going to be right over the next year? You know, I could short TSRI all year and probably cover in the 3s or even the 2s. But I don't want to guess that. I have no idea if that's going to work or not. So I'm not doing that. Thank you, Tim Lento. Yeah, I bought 6,000 shares of RESN at 1046. So normally I don't buy stocks that are down 50%. I have that whole analogy with buying, bad sushi that's 50% off, and it might be good or it might make you really sick. But with RESN, it's down 50% off its highs, not because of anything they said, just because, it ran up so much in anticipation of their Skyworks deal. And then when you throw even just a little bit cold water on that, people are scared. But they didn't say we're definitely not getting the Skyworks deal. That's usually what should cost a 50% drop. If you say, look, this deal is dead. They didn't say that. They just sprinkled some reason on it, and they didn't want the hype to get too far ahead of themselves. So that offers the possibility that it will bounce. And in hindsight, yeah, now after 2 days, I should have just held my 6,000 RESN and I would have made, 7 or 8 grand. Hindsight is easy. I entered, I made a few grand, I made like 3 grand, I took it. That's pretty good on a small position. What a day. What a morning, huh? I'm up like 2,500 this morning. You see, TSRI is still now holding in the 490s, so I'm glad I'm out. BIOC, yeah, I missed it by like 5 or 10 cents. I'm still glad I'm out. I traded pretty well this morning. Let me get rid of UQM. They won a deal the other day, but it's an alternative energy play. Alternative energy plays I found just don't really do well. Angie's List kind of going nowhere. Vigil going nowhere. HART going nowhere. NTN is interesting. NTN makes these little tablets for Buffalo Wild Wings. And Buffalo Wild Wings is one of the strongest stocks in the entire stock market. NTN is reporting earnings soon. Just a stock to watch because they have those tablets, and theoretically, you can have those tablets for games and ordering food. And, it's kind of a tablet play. It just, the stock doesn't move. So I watch it. It's on my long-term watch list. But if they ever announce like good earnings, when are they reporting earnings? You see, the stock has done nothing for 2 years. I have some weird stocks like this that I watch just because they have, not just cool technology, but also like big name partnerships. And NTN has a big name partnership. So they're reporting earnings on March 26th. So normally I don't like watching for earnings, but when you have a company like this, I'm not going to buy it ahead of earnings, but I'm definitely going to be watching to see what they say. And I'll watch it very closely and I'll see the reaction very closely. As opposed to just, looking for big percent winners. Because I do think that this one has an interesting underlying story given their partnership with one of the most successful restaurants. And all they need is a few more restaurants to use their freaking tablets. Just like Reefer just needs a few more cars other than Mercedes-Benz to use their dimmable glass, where you can tint the glass at the push of a button. That's pretty freaking good. Let's see. What is all this stuff about reserving shares? Certain brokers you have to reserve shares to short. Interactive brokers is just first come, first serve. But with high net worth broker, my high net worth broker, which requires a 30,000 minimum, you have to reserve shares to short. And I think, actually at Interactive brokers, you can reserve shares to short if you have over $100,000 in the account. But I just use the first come, first serve. CNDO is a technical breakout? Maybe. It's another biotech. I've lost track of how many biotechs. I can't keep track. Here is EFUT. It is now fading seriously. It can never hold its spikes. It is crazy. Look at it, just downtrending all day. Do not belong this kind of an earnings winner, okay? The numbers were good, but this price action is terrible. And IFOM is down to the 260s. All of you guys who are like, oh, when can I dip buy it? When can I dip buy it? Well, maybe all day it's going to dip. I have no idea. It's already jumped, 50 cents a share. That's as good as any $2 stock could ever do. So once it already does that, once it uses all of its potential for one move, it's got to rest. Maybe it comes back, maybe it doesn't. I've seen stocks spike in the morning and then never do anything ever again. That happens very often. You also have to remember that we are very late in a bull market. And any single time that the NASDAQ starts tanking like this, it could be the beginning of the end. I'm not saying that it is, but we've had a huge run-up, as you can see, from pretty much the entire month of February. And now it looks like we might be breaking down. So remember that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So don't be too aggressive on any longs right now. If you tell me you need to make one pick right now, what would it be? I would say short TSRI. And I wouldn't even be all amazing about it, like all confident, because it might come down to the low 4s or mid 4s, but I really wanted to spike more. So I don't really want to short right now. But out of every single play in the entire market, that is probably the most predictable, and it's not even a big winner, so I'm not doing anything. The bull market is young. It's in the beginning. Somehow, I don't think so. We're like 6 years in, buddy. You got to check your math on that. This is actually, the third longest bull market ever? That's not to say that it has to end, but you just also have to recognize, where in history we are. And this is pretty late in a bull market. So I want a crash. I want consolidation. I want like a day or a week off. But when there's 7 stocks in play and people are buying and shorting, it's crazy. 14 years secular bull market history. Ay. I'm not saying that the bull market is going to end. I'm just saying that we're late in the game. Okay. I hope it goes. I hope it crashes, I hope it consolidates, and then I hope it keeps spiking. But at the same time, you have to be wary because, a case can be made that a crash is coming. You like the bear market, right? Yes, G-Backer, I prefer the bear market. Right now you have to really be scared on your shorts because all kinds of crap is flying. And that's just tough to short sell. It's also good to buy because now okay, earnings winners like IFON and pump and dumps like TSRI, you can even buy them. But you just have to be careful. There's no value anywhere that I see on any of these companies. Any good site on how to understand read charts? I don't know. Just read... There's a Steve Neeson book, How to Read Candlestick Charts. That's a pretty good book. Gene is still spiking. BIOC is spiking a little bit. RESN is nice. EFUT is nice. That's about it, guys. I made like 2,500 this morning in the first hour of trading. That's pretty good for a small account. I'm finally getting the hang of trading with a small account. The first few weeks were interesting, where I sometimes took 2 small positions, sometimes took 2 big positions, didn't realize the risk. One time I actually almost fell under the 25,000 pattern day trader rule with my high net worth broker because of my Gene losses, and I had to cover Gene after hours even though I didn't want to, but I had to stay above 25,000 or else would have had to wire in money, and that's always annoying. So it took me a little, roughly like 2 or 3 weeks to get used to trading with a small account. But now, already this week, what is this? Today is Wednesday and I'm up. Yesterday I lost like 1,000. Today's like 2,500. I'm up like 7,000 in 3 days. So if I can make $7,000 every 3 days on a small account, Granted, there's a lot of plays right now, but I totally missed IFON. You know, if I could go back, I wouldn't short TSRI and I'd focus on IFON. You buy, you know, I'd probably go big. I'd probably buy 20,000 shares at 250, and I wouldn't have held it till 3. I would have sold it at, let's say, like 275 and made, you know, $5 grand. So if I can make anywhere between 5 and 10 grand every few days on a small account, I'm very happy. Look at this. Oh, this was another one. Yeah. JZ Lamar says, bought 1,000 shares ZAG at 770, now 852. Thanks, Tim, for guidance and making us understand buying earnings winners at the right time. And that's exactly right. You know, this was another one that I had too many plays, too little time. You know, just buying ZAG, you know, at a dip right here. You know, some people say, Tim, why did you buy ZAG? Well, it was pretty simple, because if you look at ever since the earnings win right here, it spiked up initially from 7 and it hit a high of 746, came back down to 7, and then went all the way up to 8, and then it came down. And right here, where was the bottom? 750, right exactly the top. I mean, this is technical analysis 101. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. The high here was 750, so I entered right here at around 750, and I thought, hey, this is an earnings winner at technical support. And I sold it like a bitch in here in the 760s because it barely bounced. But then the next day, and then the next day, and I'm glad that you nailed it. PB says, I have learned never to doubt what Tim is saying, so I'm being careful. Thank you, PB. You can doubt me. I'm wrong sometimes. I'm wrong, you know, like a third of the time. But I just try and give my best guess and use my best estimates based on 15 years of experience. But I like this comment, so I'm gonna add it to your little list of comments today. Let's see, and feel free to ask some questions, guys. I don't see any good trades right now. You know, 2,500 in a morning for me is pretty good. Let's see. In a bear market, do you have more difficulty finding shares to short? No, it's actually easier. Remember, brokers just want commissions. So in a bear market, they'll give you more shorts just because they want you to trade. It's kind of weird how it works. Brokers don't like shorters in this kind of a market. It's scary. You can risk blowing up. A lot of traders blow up when they're so sure of their convictions, shorting stocks like BIOC or GENE, and they lose 20, 30, 50, 70% of their money in a day or two. Shorting in this market is very scary if you don't follow my rules. And most people don't. Let's see. Jay Campos says, Tim, when watching earnings like IFON, do you focus on the pre-market high or the day high? Let's see. Is the audio crap for all of you guys? Or is it just some people with bad internet connection? Type in crap or good, depending on what the audio is. It might just be my computer. It might be my connection. I don't even know. Ben says that it's good. That's all that matters. Ben is the one who does this on demand later, so we'll see what it sounds like on demand. So a few people say in and out, and a few people say crap. Most people say good. That's so weird. If you have bad internet, then I don't know. I don't understand this technology. I'm sorry. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, the day high on a play like IFON. You know, what I'm really looking for is a volume spurt and a breakout on the day. So, you know, you can see it clearly right here. It's trending in the 240s, 240s, 240s. Then a huge volume spurt and it breaks 250. You got to be buying this right here at 250. You got to. You've got to be buying this, and you have, you know, 15 minutes to basically make. Actually, not even 15 minutes. 8 minutes to make money from 250 all the way to 3. This is very similar to yesterday. NTRI where yesterday it spiked up from 1950 to 1990, and then in 1 minute at 9:48 a.m. it was at 1970, and it went up to 2020, and it was all over. It was all over in 10 minutes, and you can see here it's just come down. So NTRI, some earnings winners just pop and plop. That's what I'll call it, pop and plop, gap and crap. It happens. But yeah, you got to buy the breakout with the volume spike, ideally near the market open. Orex, not very good to short with huge volume. Yeah, I'm not good at stocks that have too much volume. Derek Woods says, watching the DVDs and hearing everybody talk about not overtrading seems like a great day to put this into practice. Yeah, I mean, the only trades today really were to short TSRI in the 520s when it failed to gap up. So you have a failed pump and dump second day, which I only caught 1,100 shares. I tried to short, what did I try to short? 2,000 or 3,000 shares. And you could have made 20, 30, 40 cents there. Or IFON, to buy the earnings winner at 250 and sell it at 270, 280, 293, and you make 20, 30, 40, 50 cents there. Those are the two best trades of the day. I missed IFON, I nailed TSRI. BIOC, yeah, you could have shorted and made 10, 15, 20 cents, but not as much downside as, shorting a blatant pump and dump. And also BIOC is just scary. And Gene is scary. They both spiked. But it's just scary to short morning spikes. You don't know how far they can go. And as you saw with like EYES, even Tim Grittani lost like 40 grand on Friday shorting EYES. That ruined his entire week last week. So I really like shorting failed morning spikes as opposed to shorting into strength. TSRI was so easy to short right at the open at 525 when it clearly could not gain the momentum that it would need to go to the sixes. And at no point would I have been down. I just wish I would have gotten a bigger position. And then IFON, look at it, back down to the 250s. I hope you guys listen to me and didn't just dip by it randomly at 280 or 270, hoping for it to go back to 3. Remember that a lot of these earnings winners only spike once and then never again. Let's see. Nels Doggy says, Tim today felt really good, fell down a little on IFON, chasing and following you on BIOC to regain the losses and make gains. Good. I am training wheels. That's the whole thing. Sorry, I skipped some questions. Skating Joe made $4,000 on a $5,000 account in SureTrader since January, but using margin a couple times like an idiot. Yeah, I mean, you can always be more conservative, but when you're making 80% on your money in 1 month, that's good. Just remember to be careful. Future Millionaire Trader says, earnings winners breakout and shorting pumps is all you need to focus on being successful. Pretty simple, Tim. Yes, it's kind of weird how simple stuff works. Ramburger says, to short at E-Trade, do you need a $2,000 account? Yeah, that's what's required. Drinkman says, I have to admit, writing a summary of my day every day helps to imprint good trading behaviors and discipline. Do it. I agree 100%. That's why we have this new tool on Profitly. If all of you guys have Profitly accounts, you can post. Go to Profitly/contribute, and you can post your own watch lists and your own thoughts. It's really good to keep a public diary. Let me just say this. Remember to post your thoughts, watch lists on. It helps keep you organized. Remember to use this new tool. I want you guys writing your own thoughts You can talk to yourself. You can give yourself good pointers. You can create watch lists. I used to use index cards when I first began. I would write all the stocks I was watching on individual index cards. I still have like thousands of index cards with random tickers. But now the technology has evolved, and if you go to Profitly / contribute, you can put your own watch lists and make your own notes, and it's a very, very useful tool. And more importantly, I can also see that. So if you ever have any problems or questions, you can just send me, a link to your blog post. You can write down like 20 questions in a blog post, and I'll answer them in the comments section of your blog post. That would be very good, because I don't like emailing answers to questions, because then it's private. I want to post everything online so that everybody has the ability to see my answers, so that I can help 50 or 100 people at a time. That's how I've learned to really scale my teaching. Charlie says, do you know of any free platform websites to watch stock charts for free while I'm still learning to trade before setting up a brokerage account? Charlie, you need to get that cheapness out of your head, okay? I get this question from so many people. They want to save $5 here and $10 and $50, and they think that by being cheap and frugal, that's the way to be. Listen, when you're trading and you have tools at your disposal, you need to invest in these tools. You need to invest in your education. Having the right charts, having the right setups for $50 or $100. Even if you pay $1,000 or $2,000, it's so little in the grand scheme of things. So the question is, are you going to take this seriously or not? Or are you going to try and nickel and dime it and try and make like $50 on a trade and be like, whew, that was stressful? This is a strategy that has created millionaires. I'm not saying that to bullshit you. I'm saying it to help you understand the upside here. So if you invest a few hundred, a few $1,000s into your education, into your tools, nowhere else in the world can you invest such a small amount of money and literally have a really good shot at making 7 figures within a few years, as so many people have. Or at least 6 figures, even if you are slow or screw up or something. So you really need to give yourself a chance. Too many people don't look at this trading world like it's a battle, which it is. You need to, if you're going into battle, you need to have good armor, have good weapons. Some farmer with like overalls and a pitchfork is going to get decimated on a battlefield versus somebody who invests in their armor, invests in like the newest machine guns. That's it. This is a battlefield. So just change your perspective. Think about that for a second. Nels Doggy says, for TSRI, how did you know it wasn't going to spike at the market open? You never know. Look at IFON, just tanking. I would not want to dip by this at all yet. It is showing no signs of bottoming. So I'm very glad I warned you. Nels Doggy, remember you were long this stock at 3, and I was like, I would get out at like 295. I would take the small loss, and I hope you did, because now it's down 50 cents a share. What was your question? Oh, how did I know TSRI wasn't going to spike at the open? Well, it just didn't have the volume. It had some pretty good volume pre-market, but at the same time, I was in the 480s yesterday, so when I knew that, it could go up, my whole goal was to sell in the mid to high 5s. And to really have a shot at spiking today, it would have to take out yesterday's high of 550. This morning, there were big sellers at 550, 540, 535. So I shorted it at 525 just thinking that this was going to be a double top, which it was. Especially when the promoter started deleting tweets. That's never a good sign. When your promoter starts deleting tweets, because he's trying to cover his ass, because he's scared, because he didn't, first of all, he didn't realize that I was long the stock overnight. He just hears, wait a minute, Tim Sykes, the short seller, is involved with the stock? Oh, shit. So when you have a promoter getting cold feet about his manipulation tactics and promotion tactics, and a potential double top and very low volume, and the analyst report was kind of weak, those are all signs that the top was in, and that turned out to be dead on right. Does that make sense? Let's see. Jay Campo, I was the one that alerted IFON. This is the fourth or fifth play inside of 2 weeks. I found following your strategy, but didn't buy. I know I'm learning, but frustrating. I don't pull the trigger. Any advice? Yeah, it's fine, Jay Campo. How old are you? Think about where you are in your life. Okay, I know I have some students who are like 70 years old, and like for them, okay, guys, you got to start buying before you start dying. But there's some people who are like 15, 20, 25, 30 years old. You have your entire life to trade these stocks. There's always going to be earnings winners. There's always going to be pump and dumps. So don't worry about it if it takes a few days, weeks, months, or even years to really get it. The key is that you're learning. You're doing more for yourself than 99.9% of the population. So don't force yourself. Don't feel like, oh, everyone's making money except me. It's fine. Take your own time. Remember the story of Leo the lion who couldn't find his roar when he was a little young lion, and then he eventually had the loudest roar of all the lions. I remember that story when my mom read it to me. And maybe you're just Leo the lion. If you're under the PDT rule, would you go after a play for 20 to 30 cents, or would you wait for something better? If there was a play for 20 to 30 cents, I would take it. I would use a day trade to short TSRI and cover. I would also not use a day trade to hold TSRI long overnight. If you're under the pattern day trader rule, you have to learn to focus on holding stocks overnight more so that you don't waste day trades. So that, if there is a day trade where you can make 20, 30, 40 cents, you take it. If there's an overnight play where you think you can make it, you take it. Let's see. OREX, very scary. I haven't even looked at OREX. I've been kind of busy with good plays. Yeah, I mean, OREX is just bouncing. It's not that scary. It's just bouncing. And that's scary to some people. IFON is now broken below the breakout level. So I would not be buying it yet. DP trade shorted IFON. I mean, that's risky. I really don't want you shorting earnings winners. I know it worked this time, but you really have to be scared. A stock like IFON can jump 50 cents in a few minutes. So when you make 20 cents a share, I mean, that's good. You made money, but you really just have to be extra careful. Where's the best place to spot pre-market gainers? Here goes nothing. Just look in the chat room. The Tim Alerts chat room. Everybody's chattering away pre-market. Someone usually posts the biggest percent winners pre-market. Savino blogs and puts his watch list there. Cool. Glad you like it. Ninja says, would you answer questions and comments on blogs outside of Profitly? I mean, I don't really, no. Because I would have to check like 50 websites. Everyone has their own blog. Just repost your blog on Profitly, because I see it. Profitly is my website. I see what goes on there. So if you post a new blog post, I'm much more likely to look there. And especially, if you send me a link to that on Profitly, then I'm interested because it's on my website. Tim, how many people do you think have watched your entire video lesson library? Fernando, sadly, I would say less than 100. I have 5,000 plus students, less than 500 or 600 watch videos regularly. Every now and then a video gets up to 1,000 views, but less than 10% of people watch most videos, and I would say less than 2% of people watch all videos. So just think about that. A lot of people say, Tim, you have thousands of students. Why do you only have a few millionaires? Well, only a few people even put in the time and effort to really become a millionaire. It's not just about watching videos and webinars. You've got to watch the videos and webinars, and then you have to put the lessons into practice in your own trading. Then you have to refine your own trading. And then, you have to not screw up, because even after 15 years, I'm still not fully disciplined. I screw up. I break my own rules sometimes. So it's a step-by-step process. And by not watching all the videos, by not watching all the webinars, you don't do yourself any favors. So I highly, highly, highly encourage you to, dig through everything. It's just a question of who wants it the most. Mark Crook He's up like $400,000. He's one of my most successful trading challenge students. I have to post these videos that he's been giving me. I just haven't had time. He's done a lot of video lessons, which are going to be specifically for you challenge students. He's watched all the videos several times. Tim Grittani has watched all the videos. Michael Good has watched all the videos. Azam John has watched all the videos. You know, some of my most successful students, if you look for what is most common with them, they watch all of the videos. That is the number one trait. So far, you know, I only have male millionaires and people that are really banking, but that's not to say if some female were to watch all the videos and webinars. You know, it's just a question of who is the most dedicated. You know, even if you watch every single DVD, every single webinar, every single video that I've ever made, we're talking like 300 or 400 hours worth of study, which, you know, I guess it sounds like a lot, but, you know, there's a saying that you need 10,000 hours to master a subject. And somehow, despite the fact that I repeat myself, despite the fact that I go off on rants, if you watch everything, you know, I've cut that time down. You know, if you watch everything twice, especially Tim Grittani's webinars, you know, Tim Grittani is the single most successful trader of the past 5 years in the entire world, bar none. Percent-wise, maybe not dollar-wise, I don't know. Someone who shows every single trade, definitely. And you have roughly 30 hours worth of content from him. I mean, do you realize that? Go to Timley/millionaire webinars. We have bookmarked all of Tim Grittani's webinars. 30 hours right there. If you hate me, if you think I rant too much, if I'm too simplistic, go watch him. Okay? He gives great webinars. I even watch his damn webinars. So you guys like that? Start buying before you start dying. Yeah, I mean, some students are really old, and I'm sorry for that, but you know, you got to press it. You can't afford to take 5 years to learn everything. You know, you might learn everything, and then you get Alzheimer's, and then you're like, damn, I just wasted 5 years. That would suck. I'm sorry to make Alzheimer's jokes. That's not funny. Let's see. Vandal says the videos on Profitly have tags like price action, morning spikes, earnings. What is the tag for contract winners? I don't even think we did one. I probably should have done that. My new Spikeability DVD will focus on contract winners. It's almost done. Relax. I know some of you are waiting for it. Let's see. For intraday shorting, you look to short when the stock takes out the day lows, correct? Yes, correct. Or into highs, you know, but I'm just not comfortable. Like I shorted BIOC into spikes, and I'm just not comfortable at all, as you saw. I also like not necessarily taking out the day lows, but when a stock goes red or green to red on the day, and that way the momentum is kind of getting crushed. IB won't let me short any reasons, Tim. Either you don't have your account set up right, you don't have margin, you don't have buying power. I don't know. Talk to your broker. Anytime you guys have broker issues, don't ask me, okay? I don't know what you're doing with your broker. I know what I'm doing with my broker. If you have broker issues, talk to the broker. That's what you pay them for, customer service. Chris Oliveira says, since you said IFON had its big run up altogether, would you have looked into shorting it at 3? No, I don't short earnings winners. And just because I think the stock has had its entire, you know, morning spike and morning run up too much, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's going to come down. I just know safety. You know, I didn't know that IFON was going to drop from 3 to 250. I just knew not to buy it at 3, or not to buy it at 290, not to buy it at 280, not to buy it at 270, because it had already had its spike. There are 3 options for any stock, okay? It's a potential buy, it's a potential short, or it's a do nothing. IFON was a potential buy at the market open. When it broke the day high, I should have bought, but I was busy. When it went to 3, it's a no play. Some of you guys who like to ignore my rules and you just short anything based on price action, then it's a short. For me, I don't like to short earnings winners because I've seen them spike incredibly too fast for me to even cover, because sometimes when there's new news, other news outlets pick it up, other chat rooms pick it up, and you can get squeezed all within a few seconds. So I don't like shorting earnings winners. Tim, looks like your FCCG play is making higher lows gradually and the sector is heating up again. I mean, FCCG was disappointing. I bought this little fat burger company. You know, they haven't had a SEC filing in 5 years. They were involved in fraud before the CEO went to jail. Very sketchy. But with Shake Shack's IPO in the 40s, valuing each Shake Shack at like 27 million, which is ridiculous, that helped me, you know, think, wait a minute, are these burger restaurants good plays? And FCCG did spike. I didn't sell into the spike. Frankly, I just wanted to give it time to see if they would come out with a PR or an SEC filing, or somebody would write an article about them. Never happened. I sold for a few cents a share profit. I really got to stay away from illiquid stuff like that. It might work. You know, even if FCCG goes to $1 a share, it's such a unique situation and such a one-time event. I want to focus on teaching you patterns that repeat, you know, shorting pump and dumps, buying earnings winners, that you can learn these patterns again and again and again and again. That's why making money on any one play that doesn't specifically follow my rules is kind of a waste of time. Jay Campo. Oh, I have met you. I had a few Trading Challenge students over for one of my upcoming reality shows. I filmed a whole bunch of reality shows. They take several months to air. And I was quizzing some challenge students in Miami. I had like the presidential suite at the Mandarin Oriental, and we're filming, and we're doing this little quiz for this TV show, and I'm handing out hundreds. That was fun. I actually left, like, I didn't realize it because I was playing with all this money, which normally I don't do. That's not responsible. That's not who I am. But I do it for TV and for photos, just because it's funny to piss off people on social media and get people inspired. But Jay Campbell, I actually left like $1,500 in that robe. Remember, I had all those hundreds in the robe, and you know, I had to fly up to New York the next morning at like 5 a.m. And I was in such a rush, I totally forgot that I had the hundreds in my robe, and I had like 1,500 in the robe from that little quiz. And I called them the next day. I was like, "Did you guys find any cash in a robe?" And of course, the hotel's like, "No." And some maid got like a nice $1,500 cash bonus, and she's just thinking, oh, look at these douchebags who rent out the presidential suite. You know, they just leave $1,500 in cash in their robes. It's kind of funny. Chad, and I don't know when the reality show is gonna air, but you'll see who I chose to give my Porsche away to, which is kind of cool. I've been asking the producers, when is this gonna air? When is this gonna air? We filmed that like 6 months ago. Ridiculous. Let's see. Oh, D. Taurus was there too. Look at this. You see, you guys are dedicated. You came when I had asked, you know, if you wanted to be on a reality show. You're in this webinar. That's beautiful dedication. I love it. Let's see. Fernando says, the more reason I have to look at every video. I've watched 700 out of 2,600. Good. Let's just start. And repetition is the way to perfection. You know, you'll see that, you know, every earnings winner, every pump and dump is a little different, but they really follow the same kinds of rules. It's kind of cool. Bucks Bunny says, new student would advise how to make millions DVD set. Yeah, I mean, How to Make Millions is my newest DVD. It's 35 hours long. It's all for charity. If you go to howtomakemillions.com, you can get it. You learn from me and 5 other millionaires. And it's really just a good overview, because I have a lot of other DVDs and webinars and stuff like that, and you get bits and pieces. How to Make Millions, I put every single thing in one DVD. And it's still just $297 at howtomakemillions.com, because it's all for charity, and I love raising money for charity. So, the 10,000 hours is not true. To be among the best requires innate talent, but you could still drastically improve. I disagree. I don't think I have any innate trading talent. I think actually my personal characteristics go against a lot of what makes great traders, and I think that's why a lot of great traders and veteran traders dislike me, because I'm a lot of my personal characteristics: impatience, My propensity for the spotlight. I don't even know if that's the right word. I'm trying to use big words. The fact that I can't even use big words and I'm not that smart, I mean, this hurts my ability. And you have to be honest about it. I don't claim to be a genius. I don't claim to be good at math. I don't claim to be patient. I don't claim to be introverted. These are all characteristics that really the best traders have. So I really disagree with the innate abilities. I think anything can be taught. This is like nature versus nurture. And I totally think you can be nurtured to be a great trader. And especially if you come to grips with your own weaknesses. That's a huge thing. Some people are like, Tim, you're too hard on yourself. You shouldn't put yourself down. I don't care. My ego is healthy enough, okay? I need to be put down more often. But to be honest with yourself, like a trader shouldn't want the spotlight. I can't help it. It's ingrained in me. I love being on TV. I love the spotlight. Understand that. Don't let it affect your trading. Tim, although not its first down day on TSRI and your broker has shares, your feelings are so strong it's going to crash. Knowing if shares will be available, would you enter into a trade? I don't know. I really don't know with TSRI. I want the pumper to pump it more. It's barely up. It's not even up $1 a share. Like, this is a pathetic pump. I don't know. It's getting more illiquid too. So it's probably just going to be a non-trade. But it might be a potential short. I don't know. If I short it overnight, then the pumper, now that I'm on the pumper's radar, it's tougher for me to trade it because now, he might subscribe to my newsletter and he can see what I'm doing. So he's like, oh, Sykes just shorted. Let me send out an email blast to squeeze him. It's happened before. You don't really want pumpers to know your position, but I just think it's kind of funny at this point. Let's see. Yeah, the maid was happy, probably. If you guys have any questions about market mastery where you can learn in person from me, just send an email to admin@timothysykes.com. We do one every few weeks. Looks like IFON might be finding a bottom. Maybe. I just don't know. I mean, there's one thing to be sideways. Another thing, can it do another spike or not? I just don't know. EFUT is like dead in the water. It can barely bounce. I really don't see any great plays. BIOC has retreated, but it's still holding green. Gene has retreated, but it's still holding green. EYES has retreated, but it's still holding green. EFUT is an earnings winner that can't bounce. IFON, it might bounce, but it's a long way off its highs. RESN, I mean, it did bounce. Now there's no play. TSRI is a potential short, but the volume is getting weak, and the pumper knows who I am. So I don't see any great plays right now. I'm sick of people dissing you. You can tell someone loves trading, and I can feel it in you, which makes the students love trading as well. I think you're a great teacher. Oh, thank you. It's okay when people diss me, I mean, a lot of people have a lot of assumptions about why I do what I do. But for me, I love trading, and I want more people to love it too. That's what it all comes down to. If I have to live in a cardboard box and eat ramen noodles every day, that's fine. I'll live like that. I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to make a lot of money. That's not why I do this. Money is just a byproduct. And now I'm glad to be using my money for good and really giving away stuff to those who need it. But in the end, all I really want to do is focus on education. I can give you a Porsche. I can give you my freaking Lamborghini. It's not going to change your life. It might make you happy for a few days, weeks, months, maybe even a few years. But changing your life lasts decades, where I can give you knowledge that took me 15 years to acquire and refine. That's the best gift I think I can give you. And that's why I worked so freaking hard on doing it. Let's see. Can you share your thoughts on why you didn't like CLNE for a long on Friday? It had massive volume on good earnings. You're obviously right not to play it. I didn't even see CLNE. I don't like energy plays. They don't really do well. And this is not a good chart. So that's it. It's that simple. Energy play, not a good chart. You're dead to me. Tim, is this your only live trade of the month? I didn't see you on the schedule anywhere else. I do live trading webinars every other week. So the schedule, I don't know. My time changes every week. I'm sorry. I wish that I could have an easier schedule and stuff like that, but my life is crazy. Someone said, Ninja says, I'd sell the Lambo and use it as trading capital. Okay, so you probably get maybe, I don't know, used Lambo, maybe $150,000 for it. And what would you do with $150,000? You might make money, you might lose it, and then it would all go to waste. Imagine if you can make $150,000 on your own, using my techniques, using your own self-confidence, your own knowledge, and you grow your own $150,000 into $300,000 or $500,000. That's so much better than me just giving you a Lambo, where most likely you're going to piss the money away. It doesn't matter whether you're trading with 12K or 100K or even $1 million. What matters is how much knowledge you have and what you're going to do with that knowledge and how that's going to change your account and how your account is going to change your life. That's the relationship to think of. It's amazing how many people on Instagram and Facebook were like, I would love this Porsche, I would do anything for it, as if, a $100,000 car is going to change their entire lives and solve all of their problems. And they're just not thinking long term. $100,000, yeah, that'll help you for a little bit. But, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right framework, if you don't have the right education, $100,000 won't last you more than a few years. Even if you're frugal. I want to change your life. I don't want you to just make $100,000. I want you to make $1 million or $10 million over the course of your life with my teachings. Do it self-sufficiently. That's a whole lot better. Reefer keeps dropping. Yeah, probably. No, it's dropping 10 cents. But yeah, it is kind of a shame that it did the breakout and it's not breaking out anymore. But this has a habit of that. This is like EFUT, where they have these big contracts and people should notice them, but they just don't. That's why I just have a very small, longer term position. Let's see. BIOC is still green, holding up. IFON is bouncing a little bit. Nothing else is doing much. Any last questions, guys? Bring it on. I'm glad you got to see me short TSRI live. I'm glad you got to see me miss, but pretty much call the IFON breakout before it happened. I'm glad some of you profited. I'm glad some of you guys profited or at least learned and saw me shorting BIOC also. So I guess you saw 2 live trades where I made a few $100 each time. But seriously, I want you guys using, this Profitly /contribute feature. Use it as a diary, post your watch list soon. You'll be able to post videos for yourself too as reminders. So like when you do a good trade, write about it. When you do a bad trade, write about it. And that way you can always look back and really keep a diary and refine. That's it, guys. Anyways, thank you. Have a great rest of the day. I will see you in the chat room, and we'll see what plays pop up. Thanks, guys. See ya.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire. So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.